SSB to start my absolute least favorite training day of the week, which is secondary squatting session, because there's just this unilateral, uncomfortable, super exhausting stuff. But as it's unilateral, we have a big advantage, and that is that the absolute amount of load is not as big. That means also the loading on my knee is not as big, and that's why I do it, because this allows me to recover good enough to hit my primary leg session without knee pain. And I now am pain-free for around 9 weeks, completely pain-free with squatting. Last week there was a small setback due to a paddle tennis match that I had, but I then skipped this session to compensate, and this worked out pretty good. So last primary session was also okay. After the primary session was a bit of knee discomfort, but it got better immediately after a day. So today we will see where we at. Usually it's planned to have 2 sets, 10 repetitions per leg at 100 kg. We may go a bit lower today in order to compensate that, but let's just see how it moves. Starting with the ramping, warming up. Knee feels good so far, but it's also just warm up. And then for the later sets, with heavier weights, I will use these arms, because for me, limiting factor is stability. So I'll just shake a lot, fall over, and so if I just hold on to something, I can push much better and have really the quads as a limiter. Showing you the extra booty gains, back view. Knee feels okay, so we start with 100 or 40 kg per side. Not exactly sure how much this SSB bar is. I think it's a bit more than 20, but I'm not sure. And I try to pause a bit on the bottom, or at least slow it down to have a really controlled movement. And then 10 reps per side. And for me, it works best if I do a small set pause in between the legs, because it's a very exhausting exercise, and so the perceived effort limits the actual amount of reps that I can do. So when I rest a bit more, I can just push harder. That's why I do it. So let's go. Start on the right side. Do you also have these exercises where every week you do them, you ask yourself, why? Why am I doing this? Because you know it was heavy this week, and next week, if you made it, it's going to be even heavier, or at least same amount of heavy forever. And I think you just need to push through those exercises because usually these are the ones give you the best results. So let's suffer together. Put the mic down. Enough wisdom. It's actually a bit better in the first set. Was able to get more access to the pronation of my foot, a bit more front foot pressure. That feels better on my knees if I'm able to like really sit into that joint in a good position. So small success. Now small rest time and then left side before we go over to tempo squats. Next exercise on the list, tempo back squats, 3 counts down, 1 count pause, 4 repetitions, should be pretty light, and then depending how that goes, we have another ascending set with 10 kgs more, same tempo variant. Last set, squats in our SL Pro wrist wraps. Also currently on Black Friday sale, as the belts, as the bars, all the equipment until this Sunday. So make sure to shop it in. And don't forget that after the equipment week, we will have the Black Week for the e-products. So amazing discount. So, excuse me, the squat video was cut short due to the card being full, but I have the video also on the phone, so I'll put it in here. And now we will go over to single leg back extensions. And the aim here is just to tackle a bit of my medial hamstring and work on my hip extension ability primarily through the hamstrings, not through the glutes, in order to get a bit more access to a neutral pelvis position in my daily life and of course also in training, because that is something that always correlates with my knee discomfort, as if the pelvis is not in the position where I want to have it, it translates down the chain, knee not moving optimal, ankle not moving optimal. So in order to tackle the root cause of the problem, we need to do some annoying stuff like this exercise. And here I'm also not limited by muscular capacity, but again just by perceived pain, perceived effort, discomfort of just this contraction pain in the hamstrings with this exercise. But yeah, see yourself, nothing fancy, just work. So trying to get inside foot pressure here. And a short top hold. I'm so bad in getting into that extended hip position. You can see how my whole body starts shaking because my nervous system just is not used to this position. It's not sure what to activate, what to do. So that's why I'm starting to shake that much. But we're getting better week by week. You can also see the range of motion I'm going through is very, very limited. But this is already the improved one. So step by step, week by week. But it seems to work. Oh.